Slacktail Squad, assemble.
Stop moving yourself so much. You're making too much noise.
One year they gave us Snuggies as a gift at Sherman Lake, and I was like, "Why?"
And you still have yours?
These? No, absolutely not. And it was.
I have one.
It was one of the. It was during Breast Cancer Month, so it was pink. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so what did you do with it?
Probably use it for like a nut rag.
A nut rag. Stop moving so much, Tremonde. Jesus. Look how much he's moving. He's got that.
He's trying to get adjusted. He's trying to adjust himself.
But I'm not really moving my microphone.
Himself. No, but every time you touch that circle thing, that little shock absorber type thing, or whatever they call it, that makes noise too. And that's what that's what that's for. Stop stroking your shaft because we can fucking hear it.
Okay, can you hear it now?
No, because you're not playing with yourself. Now stop playing with yourself and we won't hear it.
Yo, that's why I have nut rags.
This is the Slaptail Squad.
Rags.
I am the Beaveman. Welcome, Slaptail Nation, to another awesome, outstanding podcast with me, the Beaveman. All that really matters. Your master of the universe, the great and powerful. And dare I say it, that my eyelid is getting droopier, you guys. I can actually feel it getting droopier. I can feel it. I can actually feel it now. During the day, I can actually feel the heaviness of my right eyelid. I want plastic surgery.
Okay. Why?
Why do they?
Because what do you mean, why? Because my right eyelid is droopy, Ronz, and I hate it.
So you don't want to walk around looking like you're winking at Tremonde all day?
It's interesting the take that you bring, that's your takeaway.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that you're winking at everybody, but I mean, you just proclaimed that Tremonde should stop playing with the shaft, and I mean,
he was.
Honestly,
you could hear it. That's what he was doing. I saw him touch the shaft of his microphone stand.
Mm-hmm. And it's amazing that you would watch him play with his shaft.
Well, I could hear it, and that's why I was yelling at him and telling him what to stop doing.
Amazing.
I find it interesting that of all the possible dangerous situations that you could be placed in with having a droopy eye, that the Ronz chose to speak about you
winking at you.
At me.
Because he's sexually frustrated. He can't stop thinking about you.
Honestly,
every time, any conversation, it always circles back to you, whether you're here or not, Tremonde.
That is
and
true.
It always has some sort of sexual connotation.
Ronz
has some serious issues.
We need to get the Ronz a pink Snuggie.
And a purple dildo.
There we go. You guys are just so happy to see that. I mean, honestly,
you're the one who said you wanted purple.
Carol, clearly nobody cares about my droopy eyelid.
We care about your droopy eyelid. I care.
You care so much that you just spit all over my arm.
I spittled. Yeah, I did.
So, why is your eyelid drooping?
Because he has extra skin.
It's just, I hate it. It's so droopy. I want eyelid surgery. I want my right eyelid to look just like my left, but it doesn't.
So is it considered foreskin if it's on your eye?
Maybe he can see himself coming.
It's not considered. It's not aft skin. Okay, nobody heard you.
Yeah, no one heard you. What did you think?
What did you say that you thought was funny? Go ahead. What did you say that you thought was funny, Ronz? Go ahead.
I just said maybe you can see yourself coming that way.
I think you think it was funnier than you thought.
I get it.
Yeah, you do. That's cool. But hey, it is what it is. So, with all the plastic surgery going on in the world, what would it do for your self-confidence then?
Is it even about self-confidence, or is it just that you don't want your eyelid flopping over?
I can actually feel it now. No, I can feel it. I can feel like it's getting heavier and fleshier.
It's an issue. It's a self-issue with him of of his cosmetic
Yeah,
being.
but there's sometimes it's not cosmetic. It causes
Well,
visual
if you could
problems.
convince insurance
Yes.
that it's not cosmetic, then I could get it done for free. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Well,
so
then
I'm just
maybe
gonna
you
have
should
to
go to your
pay for it.
doctor, your eye doctor, and tell them that you can see it in your line of vision, and you're afraid you're going to crash your car because of your droopy eyelid being obstructing your vision.
Mhm.
Now, would that obstruct you doing your job?
No, I have two eyes.
Oh,
I have two eyes.
So-
I can use the other one.
I don't think it's
so
wrong to
when did
get-
you discover this fact about
It's
the
been
extras?
years. It's been years.
And now you want to address it?
No,
But it's
it's
getting
not
worse.
now. It's not now.
progressing.
See, he didn't even hear me.
Yeah, he is not listening. He heard you. He just chooses not to listen.
He doesn't
No,
understand.
I
the
was
concept.
listening, but why is it all of a sudden become a bigger issue than normal?
Time.
I mean, don't your balls get droopier, Ronz, as you get older?
Feel my eyelid getting droopier. That I could actually feel it now,
Just
as
like
opposed
Ron's
to
balls.
different from a year ago. That's what happens with time. Time,
I
things
had no
get
idea.
worse.
I have no idea. As far as my testicles, thank you, Swan, for noticing.
They're sagging.
It could be. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
Depending on the hand gesture which you want to use,
It's like a
Tremonti was
hamster.
more than generous.
It's like a hamster. Well, I think it's
it's
droopy.
okay
and I
to
don't
get-
like it.
plastic surgery.
I think so too. I want, as soon as things are calmed down, I'm going to save up the money. I'm going to get an estimate on how much it will cost, and I'm going to have it done.
You
All
should.
right.
And that's it. Just that
All right.
procedure. Any other
No, that's it.
procedures?
No, that's it.
Well, what kind of procedures do you want, Ronz? Your penis lengthening procedure?
We've already had this discussion.
Oh,
We've already had this.
I think you're right. We have.
Honestly, it doesn't. I thought you'd apply the money towards maybe a scholarship or your child's education.
What the
My
fuck
kid's
is
gonna
that
get
do
a
me?
scholarship.
What is that going? What good is that going to do me, Ronz?
Yeah.
Well, they're the ones that's going to pick the nursing home you're in.
I'll never go to a nursing home.
Well, that dementia will set in. You won't know.
Dementia sets in for people with inactive minds. I don't have an inactive mind.
And Tremonti's just sitting there quietly with the mic close to his mouth. And, I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. How have you been, Tremonti?
I've been good. How about you?
That's great.
Why don't you
Great.
take the lead, Ronz? Why don't you be the showrunner?
He wants to.
I can. And so let's go do a round table here. We got the Beaveman.
Do you want to ask me how my surgery's doing?
Yeah. Watch ask her how she's doing after her surgery, Ronz.
I wasn't even going to bring that up. And then we've got the Tremonti, who hasn't been on in a while, but where have you been, Tremonti, in the world today?
This is the worst episode ever.
Yeah, terrible.
Whenever
He's not a very good
Yeah,
leader.
go ahead.
I am. You guys are just
You
cutting me off. Right? Every
Mhm.
time I ask Tremonti a question, you just cut him off.
No, go ahead, Tremonti. Go ahead. Answer
So
showrunner Ron's question.
currently in the world, I am sitting in the comfort
Bathroom.
of my home,
Bathroom?
not the bathroom.
Oh.
Just sitting on my bed.
Oh,
Which
your
is
bed, not the couch.
just a bare mattress because I washed my sheets and things this morning before work.
Aw.
Well, that's really good. And the Swan, how are you?
Do you want the real answer? I'm kind of disgruntled, actually,
Why?
because I just am getting more and more intolerant of everybody's ignorance. I've always had a low tolerance for it, but now it's even worse.
I agree. I'm sick of dumb people too, but you know what makes it worse is when they're dumb. And then the other day, this lady was being dumb, but she also looked like an adult version of Alf. So that makes it worse when they're retarded and when they're stupid and ugly. I was like, that lady looks just like Alf, and she's being a bitch. I don't think you can be a bitch if you look like Alf.
That's funny.
And if you don't know who
I
Alf
don't even
is,
know who that is.
if you don't know who Alf is, look it up.
I
You
do.
do?
I do too.
It's a giant
Oh,
version
yeah.
of Alf.
I don't know what actually the creature was, but
He was
Well,
an alien.
He was
Alf.
He was from Melmac,
Yeah.
so he's
What was his real name?
He was a Melmacian. Gordon.
What was his real?
It
Gordon
was
Shumway. Yeah. And what did ALF stand for?
Alien life form. Stop
There
trying
we go.
to throw some freaking shade on me, Ronz. I know this
Hey.
shit.
That was one of my favorite shows. But
Because you look like him too.
I do. Hey-o.
Hey-o.
So, Swan, are
Yeah.
we talking stupidity or ignorance? Because there's a
God.
big
Both.
difference.
No, they're the same thing.
No, they're not.
No.
What's the difference between ignorance and apathy?
If you're,
I don't know, and I don't
if
care.
you're ignorant, that means you just don't know something. But if I tell you,
No,
and now you know
you're
it,
right.
but you still don't want to play it, that makes you stupid.
Is that your version of
no,
Ron?
you're right. You're lacking knowledge, information, or awareness about a particular thing. So why are you upset with these people who are supposedly ignorant?
Did he just say supposedly?
Supposedly.
Yeah, because I'm trying to define whether they were stupid or ignorant.
In the
I just want to
library.
know if you said supposedly.
He did, and he goes to the library too
With his
Library.
library card.
with his library card.
Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell you a
no,
little bit of
right.
something about nuclear.
Nuclear.
Nuclears, and
Realtors.
realtors.
I don't know. I just feel like I go to places where you should be able to interact with adults, and adults act like fucking children. And actually, they act like worse than children, because children, you can take it as, what are you doing? Holding your droopy eyelid up? Maybe there's some like physical therapy exercises that you can do to like
I'm just gonna tape it
strengthen your.
You know what you
strengthen
could
your
do is
eyelid.
shave off your eyebrow and then tattoo an arch over it so it looks like it's constantly open.
But then his
Doesn't work.
eyelid would still be droopy.
He doesn't understand
Yeah.
the concept.
It
He doesn't
Whatever.
get it.
would-
I get it.
Maybe if we use a penis, then that would help him understand.
Yeah. But use some exactly. If you use it makes some use some sort of Tremonde penis and freaking analogy, and then Ronz will understand it.
Anyway,
Good point, Tremonde.
good point. Good point. Well, so anyway, why are these people ignorant or stupid in your opinion? There,
I mean, people just argue for no reason. I mean,
like the Beaveman.
no, I'm talking about professional grown adults in like a workplace setting.
Especially worse if they look like Alf.
Probably worse if they look like Elf. Yeah.
Or like
But
a hot-
supposed to be educated and professional.
So what was the argument over?
I like how you have to have an example. Swan.
Do
You
I need
can't
an
just
example?
you can't just make a blanket statement.
I mean,
No, you know-
okay, so how about this? I'm at a certain place working, and as we know, we work in the medical field.
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
Do you?
So I'm
Awesome.
working, and a patient comes to see me because she has a question about her medication. So we have instant messaging, instant message the nurse, who gives me information with an attitude. And asks me if I'm like a secret Santa trying to get HIPAA violation information on a secure thing that we're allowed to put it in there. I'm like, nope, just trying to help a mutual patient. And then I said, it would be easier to talk on the phone versus instant message and type. Can you please call me? No. Just put it in a text message. So you want me to spend my time explaining something to you that's clearly written that you don't understand because you're a fucking moron. I offer to explain it to you in dumb terms. You're too busy or too full of yourself to not answer the phone, to not pick up the phone and talk to someone like a human. I write it all in a clear text order, and then they send me another message saying they don't understand it. So I did exactly what you asked, and you don't fucking understand it. So probably should have let me explain it to begin with. So clearly you're a moron. Basically.
I'll tell you.
Snore.
Snore. Well,
Anyway.
it's good to vent, and because the Beaveman says, the Ronz, I want you to vent, so I'll vent. I wanted to take my son out to breakfast, right? And I understand
I don't know,
the
did you-
ignorance,
Right?
right, and the stupidity. Well,
He wanted
Was it
extra hash
stupidity?
browns.
No, when you say stupidity, was it stupidity or ignorance?
but no, it was both, because it's going to go back to what the Beaveman said earlier in a couple of podcasts, is that I was too tired to go to a sit-down restaurant. I really was.
Why would you go to a sit-down restaurant anyway?
Because I wanted to take my son out to breakfast. Pay attention. If you can't, let
This
the
is a little
swan do
thing
the
called the talking. pandemic. The little thing called the pandemic. Why do you need to go out to breakfast?
Well, anyway, let the swan do the talking if you can't keep up. She's smarter than you. So anyway, I go and I'm like, why don't I just take you out for a coffee and a sandwich from this local place, right? I hear they have good sandwiches. Let me just buy you a quick breakfast. We'll go out to breakfast at another time. And
So you said, let me buy you a
Let me
quick
go to
breakfast.
McDonald's.
Let me buy you a quick breakfast.
yeah.
And then
So
we'll go
far,
out
so
to
good.
breakfast for another time.
Yeah.
Let me
Because I just wanted to get home after
Not
working.
a sit down place because he worked
not a
so long.
sit-down.
He had such a long shift at work.
Yeah.
Do
So
tell.
anyway, I went up and I said, let's just go inside, grab something quick. I don't feel like going through the drive-through looking at a menu for like 10 minutes and waiting for whatever have you. I go there,
Classy
lobby's-
place. Classy
Yeah.
place. He
I
was
go
going-
there, the lobby's freaking closed, pisses me off. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to deal with society.
You know why? Because they don't want to get exposed to
'Cause
you.
They don't want anybody in
No,
the freaking.
no, because they got a lack of people. And you know what? This thing would have been a lot over a lot quicker had people not been so stupid and wearing the masks and all that.
Are they stupid or ignorant?
A little of both,
I see.
right? Right? Because, you know, we do have some people in rural areas that don't know that COVID's still going on or was going on, right?
Wait a minute. So you're saying we have people in rural areas that
Yeah.
don't know COVID is going on, or that it's
Yeah.
still going on?
Yeah.
Because they
Because-
don't
because
have
they live
internet
under a fucking
access
rock?
there.
They don't have TV. They don't have radio. They don't speak to people. That's how they know. So
There
those
are
people,
some people out
those
there,
people,
yeah.
well, those people would be, if that was true, if there are people that are like that, they are probably at very low risk of having COVID. Period.
Probably, or more high susceptible to having it because they don't have an
Wait a
immune
minute now.
system.
Let's logically think. If you're saying that these people don't know COVID exists or that it's going on, and they don't have access to TV, internet, radio, communication with other people, then their likelihood of having COVID would be pretty low. Because that would indicate that they are not around anybody. I mean, you just said people living in rural areas don't know COVID is there or that we have it.
Yeah. But if they get exposed to it because their immunity,
well,
how
would
would they get exposed to it if they're
they come out of they just come out of
they
it.
come
you
out
know
of the
what?
jungle?
They come out of the
They
jungle,
come from the
whatever.
Appalachians, where they've been squirrel hunting in bare feet for the past 20 years, and they've not known that COVID was around. And all of a sudden,
and they probably speak another language.
Somebody spits
too.
right in their mouth. They go to speak, and somebody goes, "Oh, don't do it." You know what? You know what I said before the podcast one. To Ronz.
I know what you said, so screw
I said,
you.
Ronz, he
No,
was yawning while we were talking. I'm like, Ronz, you're an adult. You mean to tell me you can't control your yawns? You have to yawn into the mic.
Oh
Like,
my
seriously, you're an
God.
adult. You mean to tell me as an adult you can't control yourself and not yawn? What do you think about that, Tremonde?
Can you
I
control
think-
your yawn?
Yes.
Can you control your sneeze?
For the most part, yes. I can control being tickled.
You can? Ooh,
I can.
that's
I cannot do that.
yeah.
Circumstances. Special circumstances.
It's an acting skill.
Hey, before we get going into
Next
it,
time
too
I
much,
see
before we-
Tremonde, I want to tickle him.
Yeah.
That's a Ron statement right there.
Next time I see Tremonde, we're gonna put this to the test.
Yes.
No, Ronz, you can take it under his arms, not under his balls, Ronz. Under his arms. No. Before I wanted to ask you guys this question. So I saw today that on LinkedIn that Dollar General has just hired its first chief medical officer.
Ooh.
So which one of you gentlemen is lining up to get a prostate exam at Dollar General? The only reason I don't ask Swan is because she'll be the one getting her mammogram by the dumpster or the loading docks.
In a slidey green van.
I mean, maybe that's a good thing. If I had if I would have known now, I'd have owned me some Dollar Generals. I mean,
Who's gonna go to Dollar General to get
maybe
freaking
they
medical
are
care?
talking about.
Maybe you know what? You know what I've noticed from the podcast? I'm gonna be a dick. When Swan does the podcast, she sounds like freaking Archie Bunker's wife.
I hate that show. Edith. Hey Archie. No, I don't. I hate that show.
I used to love their opening.
No, I hate that
Well,
show.
you know, it's a classic.
No, I hate it.
You know who really was in charge? It was Edith. Edith
course
was
she
always
was.
in charge. So
was
you
Charles.
look at the Swan and the Beaveman, and we really know who runs the show.
You know, it's one of those things for me that if they have someone in position who deserves to hold that position, I think that it is okay because I think that in some aspects, the Dollar General serves a certain demographic that may not necessarily go and seek medical treatment, just because everything else is not necessarily in their
Bubble.
bubble, if you will,
or their price range. Because prostate exams for $1. Who can beat that? You can get like a couple of them in a day.
I mean, I feel like it's a good market because they're everywhere. So maybe they're going to open some minute clinics in there or something.
Well, they can't open a minute clinic.
Well, whatever.
Because minute clinic is an actual business called
whatever.
Minute Clinic.
You know what I'm talking about? Like
well, if they just hired a chief medical officer, obviously they're not going to outsource their medical care.
Correct.
They're going to establish their own medical care.
So that's good.
With its own clinic.
So that's good.
Well,
I believe my point is it's funny. You guys are retarded and don't realize it's funny to get your medical care done at a Dollar General.
At least they're getting it done.
Okay, Edith.
I kind of agree with this one. I mean, as long as it's not the person who is cashing you out and then they're coming back, then we will have questions.
Yeah, smoking a vape.
Well, let me tell you this. Here's what's not going to change, okay? So let's say that, where the town I was working at in Arizona, they had nothing there. They had a couple restaurants, a place where you could buy
then they had restaurants. You can't say they didn't have anything there.
Shut up, Ronz.
But they had a Dollar General. So middle of nowhere, 45 minutes from the New Mexico border in the mountains in Arizona, they had a Dollar General. So even if you put medical care in there with medical professionals, you still have living in the same rural town. You're not going to import people to be the medical assistant. They're going to be the people who live there, and that's what's going to be treating you. So yeah, you'll have a doctor brought in from somewhere, or a nurse practitioner, or a PA, or whatever, but you're still going to have the same people living in the town who are treating you, other than those folks. And then they get to say, I work at the Dollar General, even though there's a doctor's office right down the road.
Well,
I just think it's funny.
Okay.
I guess you guys don't think it's funny. I think it's funny that the Dollar General is going to be where people will get their medical care. I think it's funny.
Well, I don't think it's more medical care, but it's more an oversight to see more medical products on the shelf.
No, I read what LinkedIn. That's the avenue that they're planning on going to. I didn't make this up.
Oh no, I
would you like me to read exactly what their plan is? Their plan is to offer medical care at the Dollar General.
So are you going to go in and question the guy behind the counter?
You wouldn't hire a chief medical officer to say, hey, you know what? We should start stocking cough medicine in Dollar General. They already do that.
All right. Fair enough. I mean, that's what you want to think.
I will pull it up on LinkedIn.
No one cares. No one cares.
No, I think he's missing the point. It's not for marketing of products. It's for having healthcare.
I mean, I agree with what Tremonti said. I mean,
of course you do.
There's a certain area where people can't afford medical care.
So you think they're wait a minute. What does afford it have to do with it? You think they don't have to pay for it?
So
it's not free.
It's not free. If the people who no, it's not. The Dollar General is not the one that everything is $1. They have things that are more than $1 there.
Yeah.
The Dollar Tree is the one that's everything $1.
More than $1.
Yeah.
Okay. So, why the Beaveman looks this up? Tremonti, what's new in your life?
I feel like you already asked him that question.
No, he asked him where he was.
Oh.
And I was just going to say, still just sitting here
on your couch.
Your bed.
On my bed.
Your bed with no sheets.
Yeah.
With no sheets.
So, no doubt that I did not make the run time. Right, you heard about that. And I'm so
You're assuming he did, but it seems like he really doesn't care. Dollar General announces plans to increase access to healthcare products and services,
did you notice I was
expanding health offerings in rural communities across America.
All right, that's offerings, not medical checkups.
Is there anywhere where they state what their reason is for doing so?
I am assuming because they're tapping into a market that is an underserved market in a rural area.
And they have them everywhere, so it's probably a good thing.
They do.
I mean, you can't go like 5 miles without hitting a Dollar General. So
that's true. I agree. I mean, everybody needs
I
to
hate
hit
the
his
color
own
scheme
too.
of their business.
I do too.
All the more reason not to get your medical care there, Tremonde.
But I guess it grabs you because it's just, you hate it so much that you notice it.
Yeah.
Yep. With their block lettering and flashy.
Brown buildings.
Yeah. They all look the same. You know exactly what it is.
Coming up to it.
It's okay. So last month it offered free COVID-19 testing at select locations.
Okay.
And is in talks with a company about turning stores into COVID vaccine sites. Who do you think is going to give you your vaccination?
I would hope the Beaveman would.
No.
Well, why would I?
No.
I just said that I wouldn't. Oh my God. Seriously?
Vaccination on aisle 3. Vaccination on aisle 3.
Prostate exam, aisle 4. Mammogram.
And kitty litter on aisle 6.
Offered at the loading docks. Mammograms, loading docks. Bud, Bud, you're in charge of mammograms.
I'm waiting for the, every time you go there, someone's always asking, how much is this?
Why did you name him
Again,
Bud?
Ronz? Dollar store. It's not always just $1. So when he's like,
he doesn't get the concept.
He still thinks everything. He still thinks everything of the dollar general is $1. So that's why he thinks the joke is funny. He's like, how much?
I get that, but every time
the store that it's only $1.
Oh my Lord! Would you shut the fuck up?
You know what would be funny?
I really do.
You know what would be funny is if somebody said, "How much is this?" Wink.
What? Oh man! You know what? I don't have time to deal with this BS.
Right? Get angry.
Get angry.
Let's
have angry Ronz. Disgruntled.
His name is
Dickhead Ronz. I was getting there. I was disgruntled.
No. Listen, it's it's like every time you.
Not you, Ronz. Keep talking. Why are you so easily distracted?
Because you snapped at the swan.
Something shiny, and he's like, "What?"
You snapped at the swan. So. No, every time you go to the store, even though they've repeated the price like 15 times, there's always that one person who always asks.
Does this happen to you a lot, Tremonde?
That's if he hangs out at the Dollar General, because he's always scanning the situation for any kind of trouble that might occur. Remember how he told us that one time?
He was. Yeah.
And why did you feel like the need to get involved? We never know.
He just might have to. They might have to call in for backup.
Because I'm Ronz, man.
The Ronz.
Because he's a black belt.
Yeah, I'm a black belt, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Is it?
So,
does that happen to you often, Tremonde? Do you often have to step in, Tremonde, at the Dollar General?
No. I was waiting for you to do your A. I'm Ronz. I'm a black belt.
Here I am. Look at me. I'm Ronz.
No, that I'll leave that up to the Beaveman. That's more his thing.
Anyway, by the way, I'd also like to say that listening audience, please get vaccinated. Protect yourselves. COVID has still not gone away. That's why we're remotely podcasting. I just found out recently that a good friend of mine is on a vent and has been since the 20th. So it's a real thing. All those people who don't think it's real, it's fucking real, people. Seriously. Get your fucking heads out of your asses.
It's real and scary and affecting people that it shouldn't.
Agreed. And it doesn't have to.
But if there was medical care at Dollar General, I heard that Dollar General is thinking about adding some ICU beds.
I don't think I would want to go there.
In aisle 4. Aisle 3 is occupied with prostate exams.
We are now delivering babies.
Right next to the Red Box kiosk. Where you can also get your Boost mobile phone.
And your scratch-off tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Do they sell scratch-off tickets?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
They should. If you're going to get into medical care, you should at least sell scratch-off tickets, Dollar General.
And then you can play the crane machine while you're waiting.
So, the Beaveman, question. I'm hearing you just speak about your friend. How does that make... Not necessarily how does that make you feel, but how do you show your emotion? Because I don't really take you as an emotional person to where you are someone who cries. Is that
Tremonde? There's a few things that I like about you, Tremonde. One is your baby face, good looks, your height. Your exquisite skin tone. And of course,
His excellent fashion sense.
yeah, I mean, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes the color scheme it's a bit too bright for me. Not anything that I would typically wear.
His well-spoken, nice mannerisms.
His eloquence.
His eloquence.
But especially what I like most of all is Tremonde's high opinion of me. That's always nice. But no, Tremonde, honestly, I can see a diaper commercial and almost burst into tears.
Really?
Country music,
Really?
True country music. Sometimes I'll tear up.
Is that because you might be wearing that diaper one day?
No.
Okay.
You're going to be wearing that diaper in a minute when he kicks your ass.
Hilarious. No,
Hilarious.
just happy, seeing like happy children laughing, stuff like, things like that, or happy dogs.
Yeah, you got it wrong. The Beaveman cries more than the Swan.
Swan doesn't cry at all. I've seen her cry once.
Maybe.
Twice. I think twice. And once wasn't really crying. Once was just a little tear that rolled down her cheek. That was it.
So her eyes watered up.
That was when she found out. That was when she found out that Satan wasn't actually her father. One straight tear escaped her eye. That was it. When she found out that her father was actually her real father, she thought it was the devil, but it wasn't.
Yeah, that's it.
I tried to tell her that it wasn't because her mom's not hot, and usually the devil goes for hot chicks. I'm like, no, I don't think the devil nailed that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Plus, her mom's voice is really high pitched and annoying, not unlike Edith Bunker's and the Swans when she's on a podcast. Also, a huge fan of the Dollar General. Her mother.
No, she likes the dollar store. She likes the dollar.
But you know what?
Dollar store
is if you were in Dollar General and you asked for a price check.
No,
that would be irony.
Dollar Tree.
But no, according to Ronz in Dollar General, that would be ironic if you asked how much something cost.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely. I wouldn't know. So, what else makes the Beaveman emotional?
I'm just going to answer Tremonde's question. How do I respond to that? How do I deal with that emotionally, Tremonde? Yes. I was pretty upset. There you go. And then his wife texted me early this morning to give me some more info. And then she asked me if I wanted to video call with him real quick to encourage him because she knows that he can hear me. So I did that, and I was able to hold it together, but it was fairly emotional. But I made sure I didn't cry in front of her. Right. Obviously, it's 1,000 times harder for her right now.
Right. Wow.
Oh.
But then she also tried to make me cry further by texting me and saying how she thought that helped him. Like, damn you, woman.
Well, I got emotional when you actually sent me a text about how you would throw punch someone for me, right? That kind of
totally the same thing, but I appreciate that.
Yeah. And and it's one of those things where I'm like, wow, the Beaveman, despite his sarcastic attitude, really does care about people. Right?
I do. Was there ever any question that actually, I think Tremonde actually got that right, that I actually do care. It's a failing of mine. It's
a weakness. It's a weakness.
It is pathetic. It is a pathetic weakness that needs to be squashed. On the upside, did you see that Ronz there's going to be another Keanu movie in December?
No,
The Matrix is back. The Matrix is back.
Well, I knew they were doing another Matrix movie. I just didn't know when it was going to come out.
It's apparently coming out in December, and because it's a Warner Brothers movie, Warner Brothers said for 2021 all their movies would be streamed. Available for streaming services. So it's not going to be in the theaters. So I get to watch that at home. And I'm excited because the boy sent me the preview for it and it looks badass. And of course it's got Keanu and looking handsome as ever.
I feel like he just doesn't age. I feel like he's pretty much looks the same forever.
And they've got Trinity back in it. And Trinity was on Daredevil and some of the other kind of Marvel TV shows. She was playing the lawyer. I can't remember her name. And, she's not young.
No.
But she was holding it together. But it looks like she might have actually buffed up for the Matrix movie. So good on her.
Look it up.
Good on her,
now,
man.
On that note, I know you're a Rick and Morty fan. Did you see the live promo with Christopher Lloyd?
I did not.
That was awesome. Because we know that...
Did it inspire awe?
It did, because Rick and Morty are kind of based on the Back to the Future franchise.
Oh,
Right?
I've
But
been
I was
seeing
talking
that.
about, but I was talking about the Matrix. And,
I know
and
you
now
were.
you've decided to switch gears when I was trying to get some.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's all media related, because I know you're a big fan.
Tremonti, what do you
Because
think of Keanu? What do you think about
because
Keanu?
it's something that we can see on the screen, it's R related.
Yeah. Well,
So,
but you know what's really
Tremonti-
important though, Tremonti, is not necessarily what we're talking about right now, but
Behind the
on,
scenes.
What's going on behind the scenes?
That's what Ronz likes to delve into.
Like, for example,
things behind
yeah.
the scenes.
For example, before this all started, I set up this podcast. So I set up the Zencaster. I sent out email invites for you guys to connect. I set up the equipment in here.
That's what's going on behind the scenes. Do you think that that's some underlying thing?
And when
Ronz wants to know what's going on behind the scenes, aka in the backside.
What do you think about that, Ronz?
He's not even listening to us.
You know
He's
what?
just ignoring us
from a
now.
psychological perspective,
I mean,
Swans is putting her psych nurse hat on.
I am. He wants to know what's going on.
Go ahead and analyze. Go ahead and analyze that.
I'm
See,
gonna
when I say analyze, Ronz immediately heard anal.
He did.
No,
and then he thought
I did
about
not.
Tremonti and how he wants to have him on his shoulders and go behind the scenes there. So he's definitely
No.
Yep.
No, well, when we first started doing the podcast, I wanted to know how it was all done, right? Because
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, mic set up,
in the backside, from
Yes,
the backside.
We're getting your backside reference, Swan. We really are.
I mean, it's
right?
your reference. You reference it all the time.
Yeah, okay.
Who was the first one to bring up butt plugs?
RJ.
That wasn't me.
I mean,
that was RJ.
But it was RJ from the Ronz.
RJ's born of Ronz's ass.
Yeah, as part of Ron's campaign.
Whoa, let's not go there. No,
it was part of Ron's campaign.
Here's what I want to know. Because the Ronz has all these unresolved sexual issues, the first time that Tremonti meets Ron's wife, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think she's going to punch Tremonti right in the penis? Think she's going to be, you son of a bitch? Just boom.
You're fucking with my home.
No, not at all.
That's my hot mayonnaise, not yours.
Did you call him hot mayonnaise?
Yeah.
I do enjoy mayonnaise.
No, it's
good. Is that what you were gonna say?
It's good.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah, well, I'll go with that. It really, where I was going with this is that because it was all media related, and that I know that you're a big Rick and Morty fan, I thought you might like to. You've seen it.
Yes,
right?
thank you. I was talking about the Matrix, but that's fine. I just wanted to know what everybody. I just wanted to know if Tremonti thought Keanu was cool. I like.
Do you think Keanu Reeves is hot, Tremonti?
That was what I
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, who else? Like, on a scale of hotness.
Keanu.
What's the guy he played in 13 Hours? The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi.
The guy who's on The Office.
The Office. Yes. Did you see him in that movie?
Yeah, he buffed up pretty well
with his shirt off.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good actor. I like him.
I don't know.
Actor. No, we're not talking about his acting skills. We're just talking about how good he looks.
How about Thor?
It's once he stopped. It's once Jim stopped working in an office.
Oh, Jim. Okay.
And learned how to get buff, and then he became like what do you call it? Like not a soldier of fortune, but basically, yeah, he buffed up. It makes him more attractive, I guess.
Yeah.
So Thor.
10.
10? Long-haired Thor or short-haired Thor?
Question. Whichever Thor, I'll take as a 10.
Okay, who else?
Who else do I find to be very attractive? I think Will Smith is attractive.
What is
Will Smith? Why do you keep interrupting? I think Will Smith is pretty cool because he's like everyone else. Well, not everyone else, but he doesn't age either. He's looked the same for years and years and years.
Yes.
I mean, now he's starting to look older, but he's still holding it together.
I think it's funny with Will Smith is for some reason I liked his page or something like that, so I see all his little videos of him working out and stuff.
Uh-huh. And he went from chubby to ripped really quick.
No, he's not ripped yet.
Well, he's definitely not chubby anymore. Yeah.
wasn't chubby. He just wasn't his
Well,
usual.
yes.
Like we see him when he's jacked. Like, did you see him at what was it? Not I Am Legend. What was the one where it was a post-apocalyptic one where Ronz, where he was a doctor? Where he had the dog and it was like the super zombies.
Yeah, I think it's either I Am Legend.
No, that's
Beaveman.
It's Denzel. I Am Legend's Denzel.
Anyways,
no, it was a remake of a movie. I remember.
It's a remake, but I'm gonna look it up.
I thought I Am Legend was Will.
Yeah, I think it is
I
too.
Am Legend was Denzel.
No, that's Will.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
What was the one with Denzel?
The Book of Eli.
Oh, that's what it was.
Where he goes around and
he's blind, but we don't realize he's blind till the end. Yeah. So yeah, he was jacked in freaking he was pretty well jacked in I Am Legend. That was a badass movie. Why is the dog always gotta die?
Yeah.
That's when I got all teary.
How about The Rock?
Yes, he's very attractive.
I mean, the daughter thinks that he's hot.
There's a comedian who's straight
funny.
who always talks about The Rock and how much he would love The Rock to just pick him up and stuff. He's like, oh, yeah, let's be honest.
Tremonde's like, I'd let him pick me up.
Let's be honest. If I was with a girl and The Rock said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and fuck your woman, I'd be like, yeah, that's okay, Rock. Yeah, that's fine.
Tremonde's like, I want him to pick me up.
But then he said, if you wanted to fuck me, I'd be like, yeah, that's great, Rock. Thanks. I'd be totally letting him do that too. It's like, so not only would you let The Rock have your woman, but you're like, yeah, I guess if you want to ass rape me too.
So Tremonde, if you could date any celebrity, who would it be? Why
does he got to date him?
We're just talking about.
Yeah.
Well, if you got a celebrity crush, who would you date?
You're not allowed to have one of those, Ronz, but we'll ask you yours. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, you know what his answer is? My wife, Carrie.
I thought it'd be part of the conversation other than you two pitching it about everything.
Who's your celebrity crush, Ronz?
Yeah. He's going to say it.
My wife, Carrie.
No, back when I was growing up, Erin Gray of Buck Rogers.
Oh, yeah. When she was wearing that satin suit. Hell yeah.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
You know who has stayed consistently hot over the years is Linda Carter.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. In fact, when she did the cameo.
Oh yeah, I was like, hell yeah. I'd still ditch Swan for her, even though she's like 65.
That's okay. I'd ditch you for Thor too.
That's okay. I'd ditch you for Thor. Hi-yo! But I ain't no bottom Thor.
Yo, you know terms?
Only because you explained it to him.
Oh, I didn't know I explained that to him. But...
So, Tremonde, you knew who... back in the day, my crush was Erin Gray. Who would be your crush?
That's not what he asked.
Back in the day?
Well, celebrity crush, yeah.
I mean, back in the day is not very long ago for the Tremonde.
True. But back in the day, I loved...
There was this girl around the way.
Like, he was...
Who?
Like,
who?
Secretly, like, had a crush on Usher.
Usher? Okay.
Yes. But publicly loved Brandy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I know, right? But, yeah, Usher is...
Do you got Beaver fever?
Because most of the ushers at our church were like...
Not Usher,
They smelled like mothballs. And they usually had male... they had male pattern baldness and like yellow fingernails.
I thought it was going to go like the ushers at the movie theater because, that's where Keanu Reeves would be. And they smell like popcorn.
When has there been ushers at the movie theater? I don't even remember ushers.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Not for a while.
Was it back in Ronz's day?
They had ushers at the drive-in theaters for you, Ron.
Yeah.
They had the flashlights.
Cool. So what was it about Usher that you had a crush on?
Why do you have to go into detail now? Why don't you just ask him who it is?
He just thinks he's hot. So just like you thought.
Does anybody else feel...
Why are you cutting me off? You know what?
Does anybody else feel uncomfortable when there's a podcast with Tremonde and Ron?
You know what? Every time I feel
uncomfortable.
You know what? Every time I ask a question, you cut me off. You're like, why do you got to ask that? Instead of letting him answer.
Why are you being raped?
I just want to know, Ron,
Tremonde,
do you feel uncomfortable?
Why are you being rapey, Ronz?
Yeah, you're so rapey.
No. Oh, God, damn.
So rapey.
Damn it.
Like a dolphin.
But you know what? But no,
Creepy.
every time I ask a question, you cut me off. You're like, why you got to say that? Why not let the man answer for himself or defend himself? Or is Tremonde incapable of
Yeah,
being...
she was like, Tremonde, 1/3 of all seagulls are gay. There's more male seagulls than female seagulls.
I don't know where you got that fact, but okay.
Just saying.
So why do you feel the need to protect?
It's a life choice.
So why do you feel the need to protect Tremonde at every turn?
You're so rapey.
You're being rapey.
No, I'm not. But whenever I ask a question about Tremonde,
the more tired you get, the more rapey you get.
Yeah, the more questions I ask, you guys flip it on me. Like, Tremonde, how's your day? Oh, what do you got to ask him about his day?
You're the one acting like you want to flip it.
Right? No, you're the one acting like you want to flip it constantly.
He just wants to see what's going on behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah, so you want to flip it and smack it on its ass. So
he's like, Tremonde, your bed's unmade right now. We could probably make that later.
Yeah.
Whoa, where'd that come from? Wow.
I'm uncomfortable.
Did you change your
Let's go back to
sheets
talking about
because
my
they were dirty?
Go back to talking about my eyelid.
So, in order to connect with our audience and everything, I mean, what type of questions should I ask Tremonde? Right?
Something less rapey.
You're the one coming up with that shit, not me. You're the one coming up with that shit. So I was like,
Tremonde.
What do you think about? You're not a sports fan, are you?
So Tremonde,
do you?
No, he's not a sports fan.
I'm going to give you an example of a question.
Oh, okay.
So Tremonde, if you were a receptacle, what type of receptacle would you be?
What?
I know.
Tremonde, if you could compare yourself to, say, a holster, vividly, in detail, could you just compare yourself to a holster?
Yeah, right. So,
no.
Tremonde's not a big sports fan. You're not a big baseball fan, are you, Tremonde?
Tremonde, could you vividly describe yourself as a
Are you a
koozie?
sports fan? Can I be your catcher?
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm uncomfortable. Let me look at my other topics.
Tremonde, you got to stop teaching them questions about being bottoms and catchers.
I didn't even get to talk about what I want to talk about.
Can I go in your dugout?
Oh, wow.
See, that immediately makes me think about people who are
That
impacted.
makes me feel uncomfortable now. I can't watch baseball.
I mean, when you talk about dugout, my mind goes a completely different direction than everybody else's, apparently.
Where does your mind go?
Mine goes right to the over the abundance of shit in the rectal vault when somebody is extremely constipated and you have to dig them out so that they can shit.
Like, put a finger in there and dig it out. That's not good. That's not good.
Oh, have you had to do that?
No, Ronz, we heard about it once.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. I've never heard anybody doing that.
That's an urgent. That's an urgent medical need. There's sometimes when people are so full of shit that even if you gave them stuff to shit, they wouldn't be able to shit.
Wow.
When when the vault of the rectum is so completely full of shit that won't come out, you got to get it out of there somehow.
Tremonde is grossed out now. Tremonde is grossed out.
I mean, it is satisfying when you finally get that all emptied out, though.
Yeah.
And the gratification from sometimes you'll get Christmas cards from that person because
they're like, "Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for digging all that shit out of me."
It's kind of like getting earwax out.
It's
like so satisfying.
It's like birthing a shit baby.
It is like birthing a shit baby.
Coaxing it out. Come on.
A simple enema wouldn't work?
I believe I just said that. I believe I just said
impacted. It's full.
You're just not going to pass it.
Usually your finger has to be in there and break it up to get it to come out.
So you wouldn't stick up like a vacuum tube and suck it out?
You want to perforate someone's rectum?
Well, but even
and
I don't know the medical procedure.
The poop
Maybe
ball,
you should just listen.
The ball of shit is too big to come out the hole.
All right.
Imagine that
it's going to throw up.
Imagine that your your anus only, let's say it dilates to the size of
a baseball. And you're trying to push a watermelon out of it. Is that going to work? No. So you need to break the watermelon up to smaller than baseball size to have it come out.
All right.
I mean, once you
Well,
first start getting it, clicked out of there, once you're starting able to actually get the finger in there and get some serious ice cream scoops of shit out of there, it goes by much quicker. But initially, it's kind of hard.
It's
Sometimes
like-
you got to chisel it, like a hammer
Yeah.
and chisel type. You're
I mean, it's probably like the equivalent of digging into like some really hard ground sometimes.
Wow.
You feel sorry for those people, honestly. It's not a fun experience.
yeah, but when you're successful, they feel much
They feel better, yeah.
They do feel much better. Then the shit can flow freely.
And we like
Looks
the
like
shit to
Commande's
flow.
frozen.
We like
No, I
the
don't
shit
think
to
so. He's a gas.
flow freely. Yeah. He's in awe of the.
I mean, that
He's always holding back the vomit.
Because I'm thinking about the scent that comes from it, possibly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, geez.
And I don't know if it hardens, if there's.
I mean, sometimes it's probably not even that bad, honestly, because it
it's
is
just been
like
there
you
a
said.
while.
Right.
It's been there a while.
Yeah, it's hard and petrified. Usually,
But then I think about how embarrassed I would be when the doctor comes in after everything, and I'm now awake, and they're explaining to me.
you're
what
awake
You're awake
during
all the
that
time.
project. You're awake during that
You're not
project.
asleep.
Come on, Dave. But you don't really care.
God.
It's probably kind of like giving birth. I mean, at the point when you're ready to give birth to that
No,
thing,
they feel better.
you
as
don't really
go.
care. You're like, just get it over with. Your modesty is not even
Yeah.
there anymore.
Yeah, that's why I said they're pretty happy when it's over because you're giving them every small scoop you get. There's relief. They feel better every small scoop.
Yeah, if you're in that situation, you're in a world of hurt. So you're just feeling better when it's over.
You get a little emotional. You get teary eyed.
What is that procedure called?
Disempaction?
For real.
Yeah, I'm here to pay off my Dixon. What do you call it?
A down payment on my disempaction.
Wow. I can't even imagine the mental fortitude you have to do that type of procedure.
Well, I mean, but
I'd
you're
rather be the one doing it than getting it done. I mean, it's a medical procedure. We're trained for all that stuff.
Well, I mean, the point I don't think I've ever felt disgusted or bad or anything like that doing it because I know how essential it is. If you didn't do that, like the people that don't come in and they don't have, then they end up with bowel obstructions and they can die. So they can get it so bad that they're throwing up shit, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tremonde's about to throw up now.
And
But-
then you're going to the OR and you're getting a colostomy tube if you don't die.
Yeah.
I mean, a colostomy bag rather than a tube.
Wow.
So it's
yeah.
it's not one of those procedures that anybody wants to do, but at the same time, it's a satisfying procedure because you can see the efforts, the positive outcomes of what you've done.
And your patient feels a million
Oh, yeah,
times
a million
better
times-
and
million
is
times
grateful that it's done and they feel better.
And you have to remember too, this doesn't typically happen to young folks. This is happening to our older folks who are frail and they're like,
Or people who are on chronic narcotic medications or other medicines that make them
do you
constipated.
think, in your opinion, do you think they're going to offer this service
at the Dollar General.
General?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Fecal
And I'll apply.
disimpactions, probably right there with the prostate exams. I mean, that would make sense to keep the butt play in the butt play aisle.
There is a butt play aisle.
I mean, wouldn't there be if you're doing prostate exams?
I don't consider a prostate exam butt play, but that's okay, Swan.
Yeah.
Butt play.
So that would be interesting.
Mm,
I didn't know that.
That would
So
be
what-
embarrassing. Oh,
Well, you'd never go to the Dollar General in your neighborhood.
right.
you go somewhere else.
Okay, that was actually funny. He wasn't even trying to be funny on that one.
That's the only time he's funny. So occasionally Ron says something funny. He's like, well, clearly you're going to go to the Dollar General in your neighborhood.
So Ronz is speaking from experience. You know that one time I had that thing on my ass and I drove 60 miles to go to the Dollar General because I didn't want to go in my neighborhood?
Well, what I think is funny is now that that's been announced, there's going to be people that go to the Dollar General expecting to get medical shit done before any of that is even rolled out. There's going to be like, yeah, can you take a look at this mole here?
Yes, Becky. I can look at it.
I mean, I can look at it, but I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything, but sure.
Have you all ever had a patient that experienced like sexual arousal during
Taking a
some
look
type
at me?
of
Sure.
examination?
Just because.
So, are you talking about the stimulation of the prostate, and they've found the Beaveman attractive?
Isn't that what he just said?
Well, I'm trying to put it into a concept that he can understand.
He's trying to explain it for those who are ignorant.
Oh, okay.
So anyway,
No, I don't think so. Prostate exams are not as easy as people think they are. Like, some people are kind of on the heftier side, and it makes the exam very hard to do.
Kind of like a pelvic exam. Those are hard too.
More difficult than a pelvic
Is it because
exam.
you can't reach in there far enough, or
Because the butt cheeks are too big?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
do you ask them to spread it, or do you?
Bend over.
Is there aids there to help with that?
There's etiquette.
No.
Prostate
No,
exam
I mean,
etiquette.
usually I do ask for some assistance with from the patient.
I need 2 hands on each side of this one.
Maybe a foot. Put your foot.
No, I don't do that.
or do you put them on their back and put their feet up in stirrups?
No.
Do you know where your prostate
Yeah,
is,
you know,
Ronz?
that's going to change the complete angle of me examining your prostate, Ronz. Your prostate is not along your spine, the back of your.
So when your
you know.
doctor asks you next time,
Yeah, don't do that, Ronz. If your doctor asks you to get up in the stirrups, Ronz, I suggest you don't do it.
now if they ask you to turn over and back into it, don't do that either.
Because you might jizz a little.
Just a little.
But in answer to Ronz's question, the answer is no. But here's an interesting tidbit for you. When I was in school, when you're learning how to do these exams, they have actors for you to practice your exams on. So in other words,
Did you meet Keanu Reeves that way?
No.
Where's that cricket noise?
Okay.
Cricket noise? Nothing?
I'm pretty sure
Anyway,
Keanu
continue.
Reeves doesn't appreciate you talking about.
Yeah. Don't ever
him in that
fucking
way.
talk bad about Keanu. Keanu. Anyway.
We got your back, Keanu.
Yeah,
Mr.
'cause he
Reeves.
listens. Thanks,
Mr. Reeves.
Mr. Reeves. Yeah. only Ron can call him Keanu.
Oh, yeah, I know.
'cause he's
That's
like,
why I said
you know,
Mr. Reeves.
Keanu. My experience talking with Keanu. No, so anyway, there are medical actors, and so they come in for you to do these procedures on, and that's one of them. So look at him, he can't
He's
control
so
himself.
he can't even.
He
This story
can't
is
fucking
boring
control
him.
himself.
You're
No,
boring him so much.
I cover. Oh, fuck you! Just go ahead, tell the story.
Oh,
anyway.
may I tell the fucking story that you asked about?
Yes, please.
Anyway, so the actor for the prostate exam explained the prostate exam to, we already knew the procedure itself, but he said, don't be surprised if I get an erection or if I ejaculate, because that can happen. We're all like, okay, thanks. You better not ejaculate. I swear, you get a freaking hard on, I'm going to thwap it. Bonk.
So I feel like I know the answer to this, but there's a limit on how many times you can do that to your subject, correct?
I'm sorry, what?
Swap your subject.
No, like those actors, like they're in there for prostate exam. They're not going to get 75 fingers.
No,
up
you're
their
going to do,
ass.
I
Like, they
think
get
there's like 4 or 5 per.
a couple a day, because you can injure it, right? I mean, they can cause damage to that by being overly.
I mean, I
Exact-
guess if you've got a 2-foot finger that's like 4 feet around.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Are these like porn stars? Like, how do you sign up as
No.
that as a job?
They're people that
Wait a
it's
minute.
their job. What?
So is this something you're interested in doing, Tremonde? Is that what you're asking? You're like,
I
how
mean, if you
much
can make
money do these people
money.
make?
They do
They
make
do make-
money,
they do
actually.
make money.
I know somebody.
But it's not that much.
It's not that. It's like $20 an hour.
Yeah, it's not
But
that much.
I do know somebody who's at the local medical school as that she's a practice patient for people, and they do they get assessments done on them, and they get to do they have
Wow.
to do certain things, and they have a script that they have to follow, and yeah, they get paid. She gets
Wow.
paid $20 an hour to do it.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, I'm sure that probably the people who do the prostate exams and get the pelvic exams done
Yeah,
probably
they probably
make
get more, but
But,
yeah.
yeah. Apparently, that's a side job that Tremonde now wants. He's like,
Yeah,
Sign
I was
me
gonna say
a practice patient.
Hey,
get a side hustle going on.
So I slammed my finger today in a window, and it hurts really bad.
It hurts real bad.
Well, then you probably wouldn't use that finger for a
Like,
prostate
look
exam.
at it.
Ooh, you did
That is
slam your
a
finger.
subungual hematoma.
See, I like how you switch the subject, but when I do it, I get yelled at. But it's the Tremonde, so we get to do whatever you like. So anyway, how did you slam your finger in the window? Why?
Yeah.
Well,
why
he did it on
Conway?
purpose.
That's what it's called an accident.
He did it accidentally on purpose. He did it just for the content of this show. He wanted to know, he was thinking ahead, and he went behind the scenes and slammed his finger in the window so that we could
Yes.
talk about it right now.
For a brief second.
Entertainer. He's an entertainer, Ronz.
He sacrificed that finger for your enjoyment, folks.
Awesome. So once again, thank you, Tremonde. We'll move on.
For accidentally
Get
on
better.
purpose slamming your finger.
Accidentally on purpose.
Nice
Get
job.
better.
Thanks, man.
Right? Don't use the finger for a prostate exam. So
Ron, you should write greeting cards.
I shouldn't I?
Get well
So-
soon.
Maybe.
Period.
Period.
Not even an
Period.
exclamation point.
Yeah, but he's got to have some
well-
spelling errors in there also.
Grammatical
Definitely.
error.
Grammatical errors.
It's
So-
it's get well, son. S-U-N. Get well, son.
Well, why not? The sun's going to burn out in
Comma
4
period.
billion years.
Comma period.
All right, whatever.
Semicolon.
So anything else that you're going to flip on me if I talk?
No, you got
Possibly.
5 more minutes to talk, and that's
5 more
That's it.
minutes. No, I am so over society being stupid.
In society,
just-
Stupid
Yeah,
or
there we
ignorant?
go.
Stupid or ignorant, Ron?
society.
Stupid.
Stupid? Do you want
Right.
to rant on for a little bit? Or are
Oh.
you
Well, I've tried so far, and every
And
time I
now
do,
it's
it gets
time
shut down.
for ranting with Ronz.
ranting
Go
with
ahead,
Ronz? Go ahead, disgruntled Ronz. No, don't disgruntled. No, what the fuck? I can't.
It's Dickhead Ronz.
Dickhead Ronz. I can't
No, not
remember that.
even.
Why can't even remember that? I don't know.
I would go disgruntled.
No.
No. Well, okay, so I'll go into the job. I won't go tell you where I work. We all know that. But so far, we've had a lot of people quit because they can't
Drama.
handle it.
Is it because drama? Ronz doesn't like drama.
Oh, drama I can handle, but if you're going to do your work, do your work. I mean, it's just gotten, people are quitting left and right because of the workload, right? And it pisses me off.
So,
because
but you
they
can
say,
handle the, but you yourself can handle the load.
He can handle the load.
No,
He likes
no,
it.
not alone, but with a team.
He likes
With
it
a
coming
team.
down the
So-
line. He can handle it
So
with
you
a
can't
team.
handle- You can't handle the load alone, but you can handle the load with the team. Is that what you're saying?
He likes the team load.
Yeah.
Now, would you say
See,
that?
once again,
Hold on.
Again, you
Is
know
your
what? No,
team-
you won't let me rant or
I just
rave.
had
You want to
I just
interrupt
had
me.
One question.
Oh my God.
Is your
Tremonde,
team?
have you missed this shit?
Is
Really,
your team?
seriously. Yeah.
Is your
It
team?
doesn't matter what I think or say. Have you missed the Beaveman interrupting me, flipping it on me, and going to his own beat?
I just wanted to know if your team is
Yeah,
mostly
I
males.
don't care what you want to know. I asked Tremonde.
Is your team mostly males?
It doesn't really matter
I
what
just
they
asked
do
the
or
question.
not.
Are you?
Well,
what
are
they
you looking?
do?
He wants.
What do you mean? What they
Are
do?
you interested?
Is
Are
your
you
team?
interested? Are you interested in dating them?
I asked you if your team is mostly males. Is your team mostly males?
What does it matter?
It's just a question.
And the follow up is, what does it matter?
What he's saying is it doesn't matter. He likes you for you.
That's not what I asked. I asked, is your team mostly comprised of males?
And I asked, what does it matter?
Because I want to know who you feel like you can handle that load with. Is it mostly males or is it females? Do you feel
So,
like it
maybe
would be
he's just
easier
saying
for
it
you to
doesn't
handle
matter.
your load with a bunch of men or with a bunch of men or women or a mixture?
So I think I can help it get to our answer. Ron,
Okay.
if we go back to where you served when you were handling those big hoses, who was helping you handle those hoses? Were they men or were they women?
Both.
Ooh.
Both.
So both were handling his hose.
No, I realize that jumping back
It's
into the
those.
workforce is kind of tough, but you know what?
Yeah.
Especially after 40
You know what
years.
you're getting into, right? not all the jobs are easy. Let's face it. We understand that. But you know what?
Especially yours.
No. It's very laborious. But, give it a try. Don't sit there and bitch about it. Bitch about it afterwards, not during.
So I do understand that the pandemic, COVID and everything, it has really shifted things and I understand and respect people's choices for their health. In some aspects, do we think that people are just like bitching out that they become like more weak than 30, 50 years ago as far as people who are willing and wanting to work?
I think the workplace has become almost like a toxic environment where they put less.
What's it going to compare it to?
Where they put more emphasis on the product than the person, right? When you work in any type of job, you got to build your team up. But if you put more emphasis on getting that product out, which is okay, but you need to build your team up and get that core going of everybody working together.
So you want to sit around and sing Kumbaya?
No, I don't.
No.
So you're saying that in the 20 years that you haven't been working, you've noticed a change in the employees themselves.
Yeah. Right. It can be tough. I realize that. But if you've got a good team to support you or a good synergy, I mean, everybody works together.
Ooh, right? Synergy.
So
did you mean to say synergy? Just
I did.
Okay.
I did.
So do you work with the same team every night or do you like switch it up?
Yes and no. I'll work with this. Excuse me. I'll work with the same team maybe twice, maybe 3 times a week, and then they'll switch it up with me.
So you don't always get to work with the same team?
Not always.
Nice. Wish that was happening for me. Do you get to pick especially if I got to pick my team?
Do you get to switch positions?
Yes, I do.
Or are you still taking? Or are you still taking the package in the face?
Yes, I am.
Well, that's the preferred position of Ronz. That's his preferred.
There you go. I love that.
Ronz, if you had your druthers, would you rather be the one delivering the package to somebody else's face, or are you still content with taking the package in the face and then sliding it down a shaft?
Yeah, whatever. See where they flip that on? Yeah. How about both? We'll go with both.
He's leaving it open. He's just in case Tremonde wants to, take him up on any offers that he's made.
Why do you got to go there?
Just putting it out there.
You said it. It's so your verse, Ron. Verse is good.
Ooh, look at
verse
this.
Is good.
The B-Man is not verse.
Say it again.
I'm not.
Oh yeah, no. You're all top, B-Man.
All top.
Oh, no, that's just terrible.
How would you define the Beaveman as a top?
What do you mean?
Well, you called him a top, right? And obviously he knows what a bottom is. What makes him a top?
My insistence that I'm not a bottom.
He said he's a top.
Did you not hear the conversation about Thor?
Well, yeah, but in real life, we all know that you could be a bottom.
No, I just
Okay.
I would.
All right.
He wouldn't even be a bottom for Thor.
Yeah, I just said.
He already said that.
But he probably would be a bottom for Keanu.
No.
Don't
talk about Keanu like that.
And it's Mr. Reeves to you, motherfucker. It's Mr. Reeves to you, motherfucker. Thanks for listening, sir. We should go shooting.
You.
Guns, that is.
Yeah. No, the jumping back into the workplace has been kind of a great experience.
I mean, didn't you expect things to change in the past 2 decades, Ronz?
I did. But the drama's still there. No matter where you go, the drama's always going to be there in some form or way or another. I just thought there would be less of it.
No, I don't think so.
Right.
Well, fantastic. What a great conversation. What a therapeutic time for me, the Beaveman, to be here amongst friends, to discuss things that are important to the Rons.
I have one last
Sorry, wrap it
question.
up. I was just gonna say some nice. I was literally gonna
You were
say
about to
I
get a
was
compliment and
literally
you ruined
talking-
it, Ronz.
I was gonna
So-
say
You
some
know,
nice.
okay, you know what?
I
I'll
was
save
gonna
it for
say
another
some
day.
nice things about my
Go
friend.
ahead, Ronz.
I was gonna say some nice things about my friend who's vented right now, but you go ahead, Ronz. Whatever you were gonna say
Have
was more
this
important.
moment.
Go ahead, Ronz.
So,
The floor is yours,
no.
please.
So when you train, right? When you're training in Tang Sudo, how do you train the
It's
children?
actually tongue, but that's fine.
How did you train the children
What are you
or
talking
the younger
about?
adults?
Where did this this wasn't
Where
even
is
the
this coming from?
conversation
What
that
is-
you were going on. This
what
wasn't
is-
the
where is
tangent
this
you were
coming
even going on. Ron just had a senior moment. He was like, I had this that thought's gone. I'll just pull something else out of my
No,
butthole.
look at here. When you make coffee in the morning, do you use one of them natural filters, or you got one of them dyed jobs that are like, what? No, them
Or,
they
you
just,
know,
'cause them's
when
not
you're
as
at
good.
camp.
Them's
Yeah,
not as
whatever.
good for you. I'm just saying.
All right, I get it.
But those ones that are not dyed, that are better for the environment,
They're more
them's cost more money.
Environment.
Them's cost more money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Beaveman? I mean, well, how do you make your coffee? I don't know. What the fuck are you talking about?
Tremonde. You're just feeding him. And let's face it, the Beaveman really loves to bounce me around like a rubber ball. Because I'll
Nope,
say
nope.
something.
Look at those references.
Nope,
He's like,
nope,
nope.
nope,
I
sure
don't
don't.
want to bounce nothing,
Nope,
Ron.
sure don't. Nope. Not interested in bouncing anything of yours, Ron. Not interested in bouncing anything yours or bouncing anything of mine off yours.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Wow, there goes Tremonde. We've lost him on screen.
We just start doing what they do.
Weird.
What they start doing on Archer. Because on Archer, every time somebody says something like that, they go phrasing, phrasing.
Oh,
And you know, I feel like you're that character Archer because
Thank you.
you know,
Thank you.
when someone else says something common sense, he's the one to manipulate it to not be common sense.
How could I not?
Like, so yeah, so you know, you're the Archer of our series right now. So that's so cool.
It's
Have
better
you seen?
than Ronz when the Ronz is in here. That's what I am. I'm the Ronz of the podcast. It's not good.
Almost like the Cyril Figgis of the podcast.
Oh.
Basically.
Oh,
All right.
So-
well, was there anything else Ron's wanted to say before I said something nice about my friend? Or
He could you got 2 seconds, Ronz. Anything else? Nope. Okay,
We'll
good.
let it go.
Ronz is done. Carry on.
oh, look at Tremonde's wiping his eyes of all the tears.
Okay, then.
you
Well,
even made him. You
Shut
even made him
up,
toss
Ronz.
his
We said shut up.
Snuggie off.
we gave you time, Ron. You
As
just
soon as we
Whoa.
started talking, he
Come on,
decides.
whose side are you on? Whose side are you on? My side? Okay, I see how it goes. All right. Anyway, I'll be quiet for the next.
Not your backside. Not your backside, Ron.
Anyway, go ahead.
here I go. I'm going to try again. I'm going to try again. All right. Well, I want to thank the squad for allowing me to have some time for my therapy. And I want to say that I'm confident that my friend Chris will do well. And he is my airborne brother. And he'll do just fine. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. So sending positive thoughts his way. Telling everybody else in the Slaptail Nation. I'm sure all of the Slaptail Nation listeners have been vaccinated.
And if you haven't, please get it
Please do.
for yourselves, your loved ones, the Slaptail Squad, the Slaptail Nation,
Yeah.
Beefman's friend Chris.
Yeah. Listen to Edith.
Yeah. Get your vaccines, bitches. No. Anyway.
But that's it for me, the Beef Man.
Bye from the Swan.
From the Ronz. Hey.
deuces.
And adios, mooch fuckos.